Okay, now we are into AWS monitoring. So what is monitoring? So monitoring is used to monitor your health of infrastructure as well as applications. So this is the most important tool for FI, where every company will be using to monitor your health of your application as well as infrastructure. Without monitoring, you cannot identify how the issues happen and where the issue happen. So it is easy for you to troubleshoot the issues that occurs, and it will be easy for you to identify the root cause, and it is help us to sort it out, right? So for AWS monitoring, we have a lot of options. We have native tools, that is Cloudwatch and CloudTrail. So using Cloudwatch, you can monitor your health of your infrastructure as well as applications. Okay, we'll see what is monitoring in AWS Cloudwatch. So Cloudwatch will use to collect the metrics and track it, and by doing so you will get the logs. By collecting the logs, you can monitor and analyze if any issues occur, which will be easy for you to analyze the data logs and store the log files. By Cloudwatch, you can create event and send notification whenever any certain event happen in your AWS infrastructure. At the same time, it will create alarms. It will if any threshold happen to your infrastructure, like servers more than 30%, 70% it goes, it will create alarm and send the event to that. Alarms and events are interdependent, so we can see it in the upcoming slides. Next is AWS X-Ray. X-Ray is used to troubleshooting application performance and errors. It will use to distribute the tracing of microservices. Next one is AWS CloudTrail. CloudTrail is the internal monitoring of API calls being made, audit changes to the AWS resources by your users. It is used to monitor the AWS users, who are all accessing which resources, what kind of activities they are doing. Everything can be identified by CloudTrail. So Cloudwatch metrics. So Cloudwatch metrics provides metrics for every services. Metrics can be disk, CPU, network, disk input output, storage input output, provision, IOPS, everything. Okay, with regards to metrics only, you will be correctly set it up and you can monitor. For example, if you were set the metrics for some of servers, like if my server goes beyond CPU utilization of 75%, then you can monitor it. Okay, whenever if any issues comes, any logs are appear, then you can tell that, okay, why this issue happened, because my server has been utilized more at the time of evening, it went up to 75%, that's why it has been crashed, or it has been restarted or rebooted something. So you can have the timestamp and everything for the Cloudwatch. Cloudwatch provides a dashboard of metrics. In the one single place you can view all the metrics of your infrastructure. Okay, in the EC2 detailed monitoring, for default every EC2 will give the monitored, but if you want to enable detailed monitoring, you will get more metrics monitored. Okay, by default every instances will get monitored every 5 minutes. If you enable detailed monitoring, but it is free, it is cost you. If a free monitoring will help you to monitor every 5 minutes, but it is not free, not cost, it is free. If you enable detailed monitoring, it is cost you a lot, but you can get the data every 1 minute, which will help you to scale faster for your auto scale group. AWS free tier will allow us to have 10 detailed monitoring metrics. So you can create a custom metrics also. You don't necessarily to be have the metrics created by AWS. You can go for a custom metrics also. If you can go for RAM, CPU, and network node, or CPU or RAM, everything, you can create some your own custom metrics, and according to that you can create these notification or alarms, whatever it is. It's up to you. There is no restrictions on that. Next is Cloudwatch logs. Application can send logs to Cloudwatch using SDK. SDK is nothing but software development kit. So Cloudwatch can collect logs from Elastic Beanstalk, ECS, AWS Lambda, VPC flow logs, API gateway, CloudTrail based on filters, Cloudwatch log events, Cloud 53. These logs can be collected in one place, and it will be easy to analyze the data which you have. And then Cloudwatch logs can be exported to S3 for archival. By default, Cloudwatch can save up to 15 years. Okay, if you want more than that, you can save the logs into S3 for the archival purpose. And at the same time, you can stream the log Elasticsearch cluster for further analytics. Just, give me a minute. Okay, so now next is CloudWatch logs. CloudWatch logs can use filter expressions, log storage architecture, log groups, log stream. So how the log will be stored in the form of log groups, log stream. Log group will be have some arbitrary name, usually representing an application name itself. Log stream will be instances within applications, log files, containers. So it can define log expiration policies. So never expire 30 days, etc. So you can mention never expire. Never expire means up to 15 years it will be there in the CloudWatch. Using AWS CLI, we can tail CloudWatch logs. To send logs to CloudWatch, you have to make sure that your right IAM permissions are there or not. Security encryption of logs using KMS at the group level. CloudWatch log for EC2. By default, no logs from your EC2 machine will go to CloudWatch. You have to install the CloudWatch agent on the EC2 to push the log files that you wanted to be. Make sure IAM permissions are correct. The CloudWatch log agent can be set up on-premises to on-premises server too. Okay. So from using CloudWatch, not only AWS infrastructure you can monitor also the on-premise server as well. CloudWatch logs agents and unified agents. So there are two kinds of agents are there. One is CloudWatch logs agent, that is old version of agent. It can send only the CloudWatch logs. If you are using the newer version, that is CloudWatch unified agent, it will collect additional system level metrics such as RAM, processors, etc. So collect logs to send to CloudWatch logs as well, same as previous version. Additionally, it will centralize the configuration using SSM parameter store. So again, in unified agent, you can collect CPU, disk, RAM, nested process, swap space, everything you can collect. And through metric filters, you can use a filter expression already we have seen, right? So you can stream the CloudWatch logs agent from the EC2 instances to CloudWatch logs, and with help of metric filters, you can create the alarms and then you will get the notifications. Alarms you can use to trigger notification for any metrics which you have set it up, various options, sampling, maximum, minimum percentage you can set it. As I said earlier, the example would be if you want to go, if your any of the infrastructure server goes beyond 75%, you will get notified, and then you can come to, you can get into that server and you can free up some space or reduce some or increase the CPU memory. You can take some action on according to that, right? So that is a use of CloudWatch alarms. So CloudWatch alarm targets. So you can Amazon EC2 auto scaling and SLS. These three would be the alarm CloudWatch alarm targets. You can use that any of these to send notification or trigger some auto scaling. EC2 instance recovery. So you can use status check to check the status of your instance. How the instance is performing and how the status of your instance is changing from running to stopping, running to pending, or running to rebooting. Everything will be get notified, and then you will get the notification through SMS topic. CloudWatch alarm, good to know. Alarms can be created based on CloudWatch logs, metrics, filters. Okay. So to test alarms and notifications, set the alarm state to alarm using CLI. Next is CloudWatch event, the event pattern, the intercept event from AWS services. The example source would be EC2 instance start, code build failure, S3 tested. We remember code build failure we used, we have seen that S3 notification, and it will send the events to CloudWatch event. So CloudWatch we are used also in code commit. Whenever any push to the branches, it will the CloudWatch event will get notified, and it will trigger the pipeline to run that CI/CD pipeline. So this is also one of the examples. A JSON payload is created from the event and passed to the target. It can be compute, it can be integration, orchestration, or maintenance. Each will have the different functionalities. Next is event bridge. Event bridge is the next evolution of CloudWatch event that is recently announced. Default event burst is generated by AWS service. Partner event purchase receives event from the SaaS service or applications like Zendesk, Datadog, Segment, Auth0. Custom event buses would be you can create it for your own applications. Event buses can be accessed by other AWS account too. Then rules are how to process the events similar to CloudWatch event. Nothing is changes. Event bridge are more or less same as CloudWatch event. Just a very minor changes, but it has advanced features. One of the thing is schema registry. The event bridge can analyze the events in your bus and the info the schema. The schema registry allows you to generate the code for your applications that you will know in advance. how data is structured in the event bus. The schema registry allows you to generate code for your applications that you will know in advance how data is structured in the event bus. The schema registry can be versioned. Okay. So next is EventBridge versus CloudWatch events. Both are almost same, but EventBridge builds upon the extend CloudWatch events. It uses the same service API and endpoint and the same underlying service infrastructure. EventBridge allows extension to add event buses for your custom application and your third-party SaaS application as well. EventBridge has a schema registry capability, but CloudWatch event does not have the capability to have the schema registry. EventBridge has a different name to mark the new capabilities. That's it. Over the time, CloudWatch event's name will be replaced with the EventBridge. Next is AWS X-Ray. Okay, so AWS X-Ray is also one of the monitoring tool from CloudWatch, AWS. So AWS X-Ray helps developers to analyze and debug production distributed applications, such as those built using microservices architecture. With X-Ray, you can understand how your application and its underlying services are performing to identify and troubleshoot the root cause of performance issue and errors. X-Ray provides an end-to-end view of requests as they travel through your application and shows a map of your application's underlying components. You can use X-Ray to analyze both applications in development and in production also, from simple 3-tier application to complex microservice application, which can consist of thousands of services, right? That's what the visualization I told you, right? This is what visualization graph, it will show you how it is connected, everything. It will show you the application name, in IP address, everything. So advantages are troubleshooting performance, understanding dependencies in microservice architecture, pinpoint service issue, review request behavior, find errors and exception, and are we meeting the SLA or not, where I am throttled, identify users that are impacted. Everything you can identify through X-Ray. Very beneficiary for the developers to identify the production issue and bugs. Okay, how to enable the X-Ray? So it is very simple. In the EC2 instances, you have to run your application load or code with your X-Ray SDK, and it will send the traces to the X-Ray daemon which is running on the machines. So everything will be sent batch as every 1 second to the AWS X-Ray. So this is how it will be running. So you have to install both X-Ray daemon, or you have to X-Ray daemon, or else you have to run the enable X-Ray AWS integrations. Okay, so this is how you have to enable it to get the minute granular details of the EC2 instances. The X-Ray magic, as I said earlier, X-Ray collects data from all different services. Service map is computed from all segments and traces. X-Ray is graphical, so even non-technical people can also use to help troubleshoot. If X-Ray is not working on EC2, make sure that EC2 IAM role has the proper permissions or not. Ensure EC2 instances is running the X-Ray daemon or not. Okay. To enable on the AWS Lambda, you have to make sure it has an IAM execution role with the proper policies, whether it has AWS X-Ray write-only access or not. Also, make sure that X-Ray is imported in the code or not. That's a troubleshoot you can do if it's not working. Okay, we are moving to next monitoring option, that is called AWS CloudTrail. So CloudTrail is also one of the monitoring tools from AWS, which which helps you enable governance, compliance, and operational risk auditing of your AWS account. If you take any action by a user's role or AWS services are recorded as an event in the CloudTrail. Events that includes actions taken in the AWS management console. It can be AWS CLI or AWS SDK or APIs. It can be anything. CloudTrail is enabled on your AWS account when you create it. When any activity occurs in your AWS account, that activity is recorded in a CloudTrail event. You can easily view recent event in the CloudTrail console by going to the event history. Okay. So visibility into your AWS account activity is a key aspect of security and operational best practice. You can use CloudTrail to view, search, download, archive, analyze, and respond to account activity across your AWS infrastructure. You can identify who or what took which actions, what resources were acted upon, when the event occurred, and other details to help you analyze and respond to activity in your AWS account. So there is another service called AWS CloudTrail Insight that is used to help you to identify and respond the unusual activity which is happening on your AWS account. So CloudTrail events, management event, data events, and CloudTrail Insight events. So management events will be the operations that are performed on resources in your AWS account. Examples would be configuration security, rules, and setting up logging. By default, trails are configured to log management events. It can separate read events from write event. Next is CloudTrail data event. So that is by default, data events are not logged because Amazon S3 object level activity can separate read and write events. You have another data event, that is AWS Lambda function execution activity which invoke API. Last one is CloudTrail Insight event. We will see in the next slide. So CloudTrail Insight is, I told you right, it is used to detect any unusual activity which is happening in your account, like any inaccurate resource provisioning, which is any hitting the service limit, a burst of AWS IAM actions, gaps in periodic maintenance activity. Okay, so CloudTrail Insights analyze normal management events to create a baseline and then continuously analyzes write event to detect unusual patterns. Anomalies appear in the CloudTrail console. Event is set to Amazon S3. Event bridge event is generated for the automation needed. You can retain the logs which are stored in the CloudTrail. By default, you can store up to 90 days. To keep event beyond this period, you have to move that log from event CloudTrail to S3 bucket for the long-term retention. And then you can use Athena. Athena is already, we have seen that is the data analyzation tool. By using that Athena, you can analyze the logs which are captured from the CloudTrail. So we'll see the CloudTrail versus CloudWatch versus X-Ray. So both are monitoring tool. CloudTrail is audit API calls made by user, service, and AWS console, and it's used to detect unauthorized call or root cause of any changes. CloudWatch is just a metrics over time for monitoring. It's used to store logs, application logs, any logs. And also it will use to create alarm to send notification in case of any unexpected metrics. X-ray is a bit different. It will use to trace analysis and central service map visualization. It also gives a latency error and fault analysis. With the help of X-ray, you can request tracking across distributed systems.